Many skeptics try to condemn the Bible as an evil and immoral book because of its citations on slavery. But the only problem with condemning any practice of this kind of the ancient world is that we're not speaking from the context of those times. Interpreting the past through present spectacles is not going to give us a true contextual understanding of history. For example, in the biblical context, slavery and service were closely related. Moreover, the institution itself provided certain benefits and opportunities that are very similar to the employer-employee relationships that we have today. In fact, for many slaves, the advantages and benefits were incredibly advantageous because when offered to leave, they simply didn't want to go. Putting aside for now the fact that the abolition of slavery was almost solely and exclusively a Christian enterprise and operation. In fact, the seeds of slavery's abolition were sown right back when Jesus admonished those around him to do unto others as you would have others do unto you, and also when the Apostle Paul said unto the church, there is neither Jew nor Gentile, slave nor free, male nor female, but all are one in Christ. You see, it's very difficult for the institution of slavery to flourish and continue when the Jew and the Gentile, the slave and the free, are given equal footing by Christ. Moreover, if Paul charged headlong against the institution of slavery in those times, it would have started an incredible social uproar and ensuing bloodbath. But Paul wasn't sent by Christ to cause such damage and trouble in society, but to share the message of Christ, which contains the seeds of liberation and emancipation from every form of slavery, where there is no longer bond nor free, but all are one in Christ. Now, of course, in every institution we have those that abuse it and abuse the system. We have wicked men and wicked people that do wicked things against what's prescribed for them. Very much like we see in corporations and businesses in the employer-employee relationships of today. Furthermore, we need to understand that the antiquitous biblical context of slavery was not grounded in racism. It was not against any particular race, but was partly an economical restitutional system. It was nothing like we've seen play out in the African American drama of slavery, which the Christian abolitionists eradicated and got rid of. We need to stop interpreting the past through our present spectacles, and we need to understand that this ancient institution, which we call slavery, was an economical system in that it dealt with debt recovery and debt restitution, very similar to what we see proday in garnished wages, community service hours, and liberties taken away from individuals that have harmed others and go to prison for it. Now, in this video post, I'm only referring to the biblical context of slavery and not to the slavery of the surrounding cultures. But what about the objection that's raised about Israel going into foreign nations and wiping out a nation and taking back slaves? Well, let's look at one of those examples. Here we have various surrounding cultures offering up their children on the fires of sacrifice, constantly, perpetually burning and murdering their own children in a genocidal religious frenzy to appease their gods and to procure things from their particular gods. Israel was commanded by God to charge into these places and to put an end to that and to bring intervention and liberty to these people. Now, which would have been better for the children? To be brought into slavery where they have food on the table and they have safety, or to be the next victims in the fires of Molech? Well, you think about this. How many government welfare agencies would not intervene today if it was discovered that a certain group or people or individual was offering up their child or children to the fires of Molech, or to some other god or some other crazy ideal or idea? I can guarantee you there would be intervention, because it would be considered a just cause. Now, what I find so amazing amusing and hypocritical about these skeptics jumping up and down in protest against the mentioning of slavery in the Bible is that these very same people, or at least a whole lot of them, will not extend this same passion and devotion to the millions of the unborn that are sacrificed on the fires of social and cultural convenience. Where is the judgment there?